I'm a baby boy,
Yeah, so what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 158 of UNGOOGLEABLE, recording here live from Sydney, Australia, with my man Action Jackson, Luke Jackson, professional fighter, Olympian out of Hobart, Tasmania, now living in Sydney, Australia. What's up, big dog?
What's up, man?
My man, dude, thanks for doing this with me, and we're coming live from his... When'd you move here?
I moved here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so you're fresh.
Yeah, my partner Sasha, she's lived here for the last year or so.
Okay.
So I've been coming up. I spend a lot of time in Sydney anyway for training. My trainer's here in Sydney, so I mean, if I have 3 fights a year, I'm here for probably close to 4 months of the year anyway. So yeah. I decided to come up and finish what I started and try and have a big crack this year and then go from there.
Yeah, man. So you've been with I know Skinny, right?
Billy, his son.
Have you been with him your whole... I've asked you this before. Have you been with him your whole career?
As a professional, yes.
Yeah.
I've been professional 6 years now. So yeah, as an amateur.
How does that work, the amateur? I know that, anyone who's in the know with boxing, you have to be an amateur. And everyone listening to this, it's not. That's why you don't see guys like big, famous boxers fighting in the Olympics, because you have to be amateur.
Yeah.
Now, when you were coming up through those ranks, because in America, amateur athletes, for instance, if you play amateur American football, you're not allowed to get paid.
Yep.
Is this an issue in Olympic boxing? Were you able to have sponsors? Were you able to get paid?
Well, it's very difficult because, I mean, people want to sponsor you. They want something out of it, which is fair enough. And as an amateur, you're not allowed to put, logos on anything. So it's hard for companies to get their monies back,
Yeah.
As a professional, you can put stuff on your shorts and all that sort of stuff. But look, I didn't have much money coming in, but the government supported us a little bit at the AIS, Institute of Sport, in Canberra. So I was there for 5 or 6 years. So everything was covered: your accommodation, your food, and they give you an allowance. So I mean, I didn't have any other focus. My main focus was the Olympics. A lot of young kids growing up, they're told to finish school and get a trade and just be like everyone else, and I never wanted that. I wanted to be an Olympian, and I set out to make it happen, and I did. Yeah,
that's an amazing thing. I mean, I wish I knew the stats. I need to get a guy sitting on the show with a computer like Rogan has.
Yeah.
He searches the internet. I think it adds value. But like, what do you think the percentage has to be less than 1 of humans that are Olympians?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? That alone.
There's only 1 Olympian in this room.
Yeah, there's only 1 Olympian. Well, I was actually thinking maybe I could be an Olympian in curling. Have you seen that sport?
Yeah.
It's literally like my buddy and I, we were going through the list of Olympic events, and there's certain, like speed walking. It's like, dude, imagine if I devoted my whole life to not letting the heel hit.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to. Have you seen this sport?
Yeah.
Boxing, though, man, the sweet science, combat. You told me before you started as an 18-year-old. Do you think this prolonged in your career? You fought internationally. You have an international fan base. People all over the world know who you are. Your fight style speaks for itself. Do you think it suited you coming in as an 18-year-old? Or looking back, do you think that maybe picking up earlier would have suited you better?
Well, I think staying at 18 has given me the opportunity to prolong my career. I've had 113 amateur fights. At senior level, no junior, no youth, all senior.
From the time you started?
From the time I started. And now this will be my 19th professional fight. So I've had a lot of fights, and they've all been against quality opponents. I mean, when I say quality opponents, obviously you've had your fights that have been easier than others, but what I'm saying is none have been as a kid. So it's been quite hard, but it's the thing is, when you're kids, sometimes they get sick of it pretty quick and they burn out. And kids, they take a lot of punches to their head because they've got no fear. And as their brain is still developing, and my brain definitely stopped developing when I was 18. So,
we were 8 years old, 9 years old. My hometown, Kelly, Pavlik, former middleweight champ. His dad had him boxing, and Jack Lowe, Southside Boxing. I think Kelly was 10 years old. He retired at 30, but that experience, I don't even think he had an amateur career, and that's the question I wanted to ask you. You see guys like Lomachenko, coming from where he comes from, it's almost like the pride in fighting for your nation, fighting for your home, trumps turning pro.
Yeah.
I see that, I think for Australian boxing, because when I moved here in 2013, I was shocked with how much pride there was in Australian boxing.
Well, yeah, look, my goal as an athlete was always Olympics. I didn't care about anything else.
Before boxing, or once you started picking them up?
Once I started. So
was there a sport before?
I used to play AFL football, like all Aussie rules football. Yeah, I would never have, obviously amounted to much with that, I don't think, but I like the one-on-one combat. And I always wanted to be an Olympian. I was never going to turn professional, but eventually I did, and I'm glad I did. But the pinnacle for me was to make the Olympic Games.
And you were the captain, right?
I was a captain, so I started at 18, it took off pretty quick, and then I was going to the Commonwealth Games within only 10 fights.
Wow. And
then won a bronze medal for my country there, and then set my sights on Beijing Olympics. And I've beaten a guy that is now a teammate, Paul Fleming, who had fought 3 times, and I've beaten him 3 times. And then the last fight, he beat me by 2 points and qualified for Beijing. So it was a big downer for me. And then I had a fracture in my back, put me out for 12 months, and then I rebounded, and I never stopped believing. I come back, and I was the captain of the Commonwealth Games boxing team, and then the World Champions boxing team, and then the Olympic Games boxing team. So I had to overcome a lot of adversity, a lot of mental health issues that I had going on as well, and injuries, but I never lost sight of what I wanted, and that was to become an Olympian, and I made it happen through hard work.
That focus, that international experience, that Olympic experience, do you feel, how much did that suit you in the media uproar of that Frampton fight? All the media leading up to it, because that dude, I mean, you guys you're both world class. Those people follow that guy, especially being lighter fighters. It's awesome to see that sort of following. Did you feel any bit intimidated just to the media, not to the guy, but to the media?
No, definitely not the media. I've been dealing with media a lot. But look, Carl Frampton's a hell of a fighter, man, and he has a great support out of his hometown in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and just everywhere, all around the world. He's got a big fan base, and look, but now I've got a lot of people that support me.
You want a lot of fans, man. That's all yours.
A lot of good people always reaching out and giving me positive feedback, which is great, because sometimes we always focus on the negative feedback, and I cop a fair bit of negative feedback on social media, but I cop the
read
good,
the comments, man.
The good outweighs the bad, brother, and I'm very blessed to even be able to inspire some people, and I can't wait to get back to the UK and have another big fight. Hopefully this year or next year we can make it happen.
Yeah, so this will be when was your last fight? Was it before January?
December 21.
Yeah, it was at the end of the year, and then you got one coming up at the end of April.
Yeah.
Do you guys, you and your team, do you map out the next 12 months? Or do you take it fight by fight?
Just take fight by fight, man, because everyone lives week by week or month by month. I live day by day, man. That's what I do. I live day by day. No one's promised tomorrow, so I focus on today, and I try not to think too much about anything, man. I just focus on today and get the day done. Be the best I can be today, and look forward, to tomorrow. Because there's not much point looking too far ahead, because one, you might not make it there. You know what I mean? I remember as an amateur boxer, I used to stress myself out a lot about all these guys in Australia that I had to beat to make the Olympics. This is how much I wanted it. So I'd do research on all of them, and I'd put all the names down that I had to fight, and I'd be stressing about, this one, that one, and come fight time, I'd beat some guy, and then the ones that I was stressed about wouldn't even make the final because they get beat by someone else. So, then I think, well, I spent bloody 12 months of my life stressing about these fighters, fighting them, and I never fought them because it didn't work out. We didn't meet. So what's the point in stressing about something until it happens? You know what I mean?
It's very true.
It's the same as opponents as a professional now. I've had 4 different opponents in the last 3 weeks that my trainer Billy is saying has said that I'm fighting. And then they said, it's changed, this one's dropped out, that one's dropped out. So you can't be worrying about it, man. You just got to worry about you and get your training done, get your, be responsible for what your responsibilities are, and take care of people around you and focus on what's important, man. Because tomorrow's not promised, you know?
Yeah, that staying in the moment, not looking too far ahead. We all get caught up in that illusion of thinking that, I mean, talking about people who are happy or who are unhappy, who are unfulfilled doing things that aren't their passion. And we kind of get trapped in that. I gotta save money. I gotta set alarms. I gotta make these meetings, and all of that is in the future. But like honing into that each day, I feel is a huge attribute to being fulfilled, being happy, and then not getting tricked into thinking that you actually get to stay here forever.
Mate, we're going. We're all going.
Everybody's going. Everybody. That actually excites me.
Yeah, look,
Like,
you know,
it excites me because no matter who's richer or who has the most, they have to die too.
That's right.
Or they get to die too. Like that would bother me if like the Elon Musks got to stay.
Yeah.
But because they don't, I'm like, cool, man, we have something in common.
And you know, like I forget to appreciate the little things sometimes, and this has come from someone that you know, I appreciate everything, but like sometimes when you're not in training camp, you know, you think, oh, you know, this and that. But now, like as of today, I would love nothing more than to go out and have a nice big steak with, you know, French fries or fat chips.
Indulging in it,
mate.
Yeah,
and just
you're
enjoying
right by Bar Luca, man. Have you been to the burgers?
And just enjoy myself. Have a Coke.
Yeah.
And just chill out, and that would make me happy.
Yeah.
But then for some reason, when you get out of camp and you can do it, you don't want it anymore. You know, you have to learn to appreciate everything in life, and then that's one thing boxing's taught me, to appreciate the little things.
So when a fight like the Frampton fight presents itself, you don't cross me as a guy to say no to anything when it comes to fights, like competition. You know, you're an attribute of like what personal development and what having a goal can lead to. You posted one time about a year ago about. It was right after that loss, and you were stating about who you were, where you came from, the opportunities that you had to create for yourself, and you ended it with why you're still here and why you found positives even though you didn't get the W you were searching for. When that fight presented itself, though, how did it come to fruition? Did he call you out? Did you call him out? Is it all promoters? How did that happen?
Well, as a professional fighter, you are told who you fight pretty much by your promotional team or manager or trainer. As an amateur, you go to a tournament, you put your name in a hat, they pull your name out, that's who you fight. And you know, I fought all the guys, all the top guys as a professional in Australia. I fought them all and I beat them all. You know, if you do your homework, I beat them all. I was undefeated in Australia since 2005. You know, it's a long time, and I beat all these guys. Same as when you go overseas. But as a professional, it's a little bit different. This is what people don't understand, the armchair critics, they don't understand that it's a little bit different. The boxer has a little say, but not much. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to do as they're told, and it's down to promotional agreements and all this. And this is why the big fights sometimes don't happen. Like, you know, why isn't you know,
Fury fighting Wilder?
That's right. Why did it take so long for Manny Pacquiao to fight Floyd Mayweather? They're fighters. They want to fight, but they want the money that they deserve, and promotional is a lot. So it's hard.
Yeah.
So the thing that people need to understand.
Did they come to you with the Frampton fight?
They come to me, yes. So I was chasing Oscar Valdez. I was vocal in that, and Oscar Valdez is an awesome fighter.
Yeah.
And, I just wanted an opportunity, and
to see where you were,
to see where I was at, and to fight for a world title, and hopefully win it. But that fight didn't come about because he broke his jaw, and then Frampton became interim world champion. My manager, Michael Tamura, works for MTK Global, and they manage or promote Frampton as well. So it was linked. We had links there, and my promoter Adam Wilcox also, you know, is in with that, and then my trainer Billy Hussain. So we all agreed on it, and we all wanted the fight once it was presented to us. And you know, I thank them for the opportunity. But let's get this straight. I want another one. You know, I told my trainer Billy, you know, I want another opportunity at that high level. I don't feel I fought at my best. I think I can do better, and I just want another shot. And that's the reason I'm here, man. Like I mean. I'm 34 years old, okay? So
I had no idea how old you were, by the way. No idea. I was like, he could either be 24 or who knows how old you are. So you're 34.
I've put my life into boxing. I've put my life into creating a nice gym in Tasmania, Action Fitness Centre. I've got my own house that I paid for boxing. You know, I dropped out of school in grade 7, you know, so I had no education, so I made it all happen myself through boxing. I'll give all that up now, man. I'll give up my house. I'm renting it out. Obviously, it's still my house, but I'm renting it out. I sold my car.
You picked everything up and you're going after.
I left my gym, bro. I left my gym. You know, I had close to 100 members and a great setup at my gym.
Yeah.
And I left it all for an opportunity maybe that probably won't work out, or it probably will work out. But guess what? I'm going to take a shot. That's
for sure, man.
And that's one thing I will know.
Yeah,
I'll always know if I was good enough or not good enough. I can't stand people to say, "Oh, would have, could have, should have." No, listen, you didn't. You didn't. Don't say would have, should have, could have. You didn't. And I'll be the guy when I'm dead. People say he did it or he didn't do it. Yeah. But there was no lack of trying.
Yeah. There's no should.
No, that's it.
Yeah. There's a. I used to teach a course in leadership and development, and it was called Power Communications, and it was all about understanding powerless words. So words that we use without even thinking about it that are impacting our livelihood. It's one of those words was should. Yeah. Another one of those words is try. And if you could just negate those two words out of your everyday vernacular, you would replace them with rather than I should have, I'll do.
I'm doing.
And rather than we should try to do it, let's do it.
That's right.
And what's your nickname? It's about taking action.
That's right.
Action Jackson. I mean, you're living that.
That's
pretty
right,
dope.
You got to just have a crack, man. Have a crack. What's the worst thing that can happen? You miss? It's just I've got a basketball, right? There's a hoop there. I take a shot. It goes in. I take a shot. It misses. Well, I've got to take a shot. Well, you're going to sit here with the ball in your hand for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Just take a shot, man.
Yeah.
It's going to go in or it's not.
For sure. So April comes around. It's going to be here soon enough. That'll be your
19th fight, brother. As a pro.
And you're only one step. 18-1, right? 17-1.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to talk about here. I was listening to Atlas, love him or hate him, but man, I was listening to Atlas talk about you only know whether it's a surgeon, whether it's a fighter. You only know who they are. You only know what they possess. You only know what they're capable of when they are faced with that sort of adversity, how they react to it. So rather than allowing these losses in life, a lot of us wear them as badges and it's an excuse now and you never move past it. Having that loss, is that something that you hold like fire, like fuel, or do you let it go as a fighter? Is it like it happened?
I let it go, man. I've lost a lot in my life. You know, I lost, my mother when I was a young kid. I was in and out of like care from other people, and I dropped out of school. I was heavily involved in drugs. I've lost opportunities that I shouldn't have lost. I missed out on Olympic Games where I feel in my heart I should have made the first one, but I made it again the second time. I've lost a lot. Friends, relationships, money, job opportunities, all through boxing. I've lost a lot. So it's all worth it, man. It's all worth it. Like your losses only, I've just learned from it in life and in the ring. Like I've had a lot of bad mental health problems. I suffer with OCD really badly. It's noted that I'm very outspoken about it. I take medication every day over there. My tablets are just there. I take one of them little things every day to help me cope with my stuff. And the thing is, like, because I was never around any of my family as a young kid, so I lived with this problem, obsessive compulsive disorder, until I was at the age of 28 before it was diagnosed.
Didn't know what it was.
Didn't know what it was. Wow. So I was talking like there was something in my head, man, that wasn't right. And after 28 years, I just sort of had a breakdown, a mental breakdown, and then I went in and seen doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists and specialists, and they helped me. Look, it's not great. It's still a day-to-day battle, but I feel a lot better now, and I understand it. So if something happens, I can go, oh, that's what it is, and I've got an answer for it. Whereas before, I'm asking myself all these questions, I've got no answers for it. And as a person, if you're anything like me, I need the answers. If I've got questions, I want answers, brother. And if I couldn't give the answers to my own questions, and it was a real struggle. So, look,
it's a powerful thing, man.
Yeah,
you talking about it.
100%.
I see on your Twitter. This was years ago. I think I saw 2012 or 2013. You were giving interviews and talking about it, and I think it's powerful because not only it helps you understand yourself, but people who are just fans of yours.
That's right,
people
man.
Who are suffering from it.
I've had people reach out to me and say, "Thanks, man, for that interview." That I never knew that. That's what I've got these issues, and I go and see someone about it. And
do you mind talking about some of the signs? Like how does because I know there's different levels to everything. What are some of the how does it manifest itself?
Well, I spent a lot of time alone as a young kid, so When I was real little though, I remember my mum used to come into the bedroom and was asleep and turn the light on and off, like maybe 10 times. Wake us up, the light just switch on and off, on and off. And then you'd be awake and then you'd hear her turn the stove on and off, on and off, on and off. And then the door, lock it, unlock it.
Like consecutively.
Yeah. And she had a bad drug problem, and so then like that was just sort of normal behaviour. You know, you growing up, mum does it, that's normal. And then I found myself touching stuff and counting to certain numbers and doing certain things like that. So, but then it got worse than that, and people think if you've got OCD, it's just about cleaning and being tidy and that, which it is a little bit. But I had a thing where I had to like crazy shit. Like I was driving in the car with my eyes closed. I could drive from one light post to the next. I had to have my eyes closed.
You had to have your eyes closed?
Yeah, I closed my eyes while I'm driving in the car.
Because it became a pattern.
Yeah, and I'm close and see how far I could drive with my eyes closed. I used to get a crossbow. I had a crossbow. And all this stuff, like I forgot about it in my mind, but I only sort of started thinking about it when I was speaking to my psychiatrist about it. And he was asking my questions. I used to have a crossbow and I used to load it up. And every time I go out drinking as a young kid, I'd come home and I'd put it in my mouth and egg myself to pull the trigger. But I would never pull the trigger, obviously.
How old were you?
Like I was 16, 17.
So that's signs of OCD?
Well, I didn't know it was, but it obviously is because I had someone.
Because you created a pattern.
Yeah, I had someone close to me kill themselves when I was younger. So I was obsessing about suicide as well. So that's one thing that I've thought about a lot is suicide. Not that I want to do it because I don't. I love my life, but it was an obsession that I had in my head about people that killed themselves, and then I was wondering why they killed themselves, and then I would ask myself and I'd Google it and I'd figure it out.
Because you need to know the answers.
Yeah, and it was crazy, man. And like, then I'd done this thing where I'd breathe where I'd go, and if I couldn't catch my breath, I'd feel panicky.
Hyperventilate?
Yeah, and then I feel like I couldn't breathe. It was fucked up, bro. Honestly, it was really bad. And then I'd get anxiety through it. And little things like, I used to have to drive in a car, and then when I get out, the dogs would be in the backyard. If they were there, I had to look over the fence and look them in the eyes. If I didn't do that, I feel something bad was going to happen to my dogs. Like raw chicken, I could never cut raw chicken because my mind's telling me to eat it.
So you just avoided it?
Like I just avoided
Interesting.
it. Now I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because I'm dealing with it. But back then I didn't fucking know, bro. I had no idea. Like I'd be laying in bed happy. Happy as, like happy.
Yeah.
And I'd be thinking ways to kill myself. Like getting if I push the manhole up and tie one of my boxing wraps there and put it around, jump out. And I'm thinking, what are you thinking that for, bro? You're happy, don't be...
Yeah.
And I would never wanted to do it, but I couldn't stop fucking thinking about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, being fixated on an idea.
And my psychiatrist, Dr. Michael Davey, he's helped me a lot, man. Back in Hobart, and I seen an OCD specialist. She was actually from Canada. Her name was Lisa. So she helped me understand a lot and to let me know that it's okay to think that stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously I take tablets. I take sertraline, 100 milligrams a day. One day I want to try and get off it, the tablets. I'm not saying it's bad, but I just one day. But at the minute everything's okay with it, and I just want to finish my career. And then I'm going to test myself to see how I go getting off that stuff and. Because I understand it a lot more now.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you express, because boxing, I mean, is the ultimate form of expression. It's the ultimate form of our body moving in such an artistic way. Are you into any sort of, do you write, do you paint, do you draw, any sort of artistic expression?
Well, I used to keep a novel, like a diary, my whole amateur career. And it's sad, man, like you read back through it now and it'll near bring you to tears because I was asking myself questions on the notepad and I had no answers for them. Like I was saying, my breathing's playing up, I can't sleep, I don't know what's wrong with me. I was sitting in the shower for bloody half hour, 40 minutes, sitting at the bottom of the shower just thinking what's going on with me.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And for me to read that back now, I just sound like a lost kid, man. And I'm saying 24.
Do you still have it?
I still got them all, my diaries, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
24, 25 years old, and you are a kid at that age.
For sure.
You're very young, and I was alone, man, and I had to figure it all out myself. And I don't want anyone to have to go through that ever. So my advice is, and this is the thing, if you're anything like me, if someone asks you, "Are you okay?" I'm gonna say yeah. If you ask me how I'm feeling, I'm gonna say good. You gotta keep asking, man. You know, because everyone says, you know, speak out if you're not feeling good. Man, I'm not gonna speak out. So, you know, if you're
Is
a
it
friend,
because you don't want to burden people?
well, that's right, brother. I mean, everyone's got their own problems. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
you're dealing with stuff that no one knows of. Like,
Sure.
you know, what are you going to ring up? Oh, Luke, sorry, man, I'm just cooking dinner. Or, brother, I'm just with the missus. Or, brother, I'm walking the dog. Or, you know, you feel like you're burdening people, but you're not. And this is what I mean. Friends need to look out for friends or mates or whoever. Anyone. They don't even have to be a friend, but if you notice someone acting up, you got to be there. And the first time you ask them, are they okay? I'm sure they're going to say yes. But you got to ask them again. And you got to check on them. You got to go around the house. You got to get them up out of the house. You know, be there for them.
It really bummed me out when, like, I don't really look up to this stage of my life. I really don't look up to. I'm not starstruck. I don't look up to celebrities. I've never been that guy. But when I found out that, are you familiar with Anthony Bourdain?
Yeah.
When I found it was 5 a.m. I was in Sydney and I read on my phone that he had taken his life. It hit me in such a way because I spent my 20s living in Las Vegas and LA working in the hospitality industry, bartending, but it was, you know, searching on what
to do.
Yeah, just not knowing what to do. And I read Bourdain's book 10 years ago, No Reservations, and he was super candid in that book about his addiction, his mental health, substance abuse, and he had worked in a restaurant. And if you ever worked in a restaurant, that industry in America, I don't know how it is throughout the other world, you feel that you can never leave that industry. You feel that that's it, and that's where your skill set is, and you begin to get complacent with it. And so once I read that, and then watching him in his late 40s evolve, and then in his late 50s win a jiu-jitsu tournament, his late 50s, then has the show, becomes an international celebrity with his storytelling, how he wrote, how he was able to speak about culture, how he was able to educate people on different parts of the world with food. And when I read that, a man that I thought had figured it out, and
he hadn't.
This is gonna sound bizarre, and I tell my girlfriend this all the time, because my views on suicide and depression are a little different. I hope one day we live in a culture to where it's a common narrative. It's not taboo to talk about.
No, that's for son.
And I looked at that, and I looked at my girlfriend, and I go, man, he was so brave. I was like, to be so scared or so lost or disenfranchised or disillusioned, whatever it was, but to actually go through with that.
Yeah, 100%.
That, in my eyes, that's courage.
Man, 100%.
Because he's living in pain.
Man.
And it just hit me in that when you brought that up, that's what I always go back to, the Bourdain story, because I think about, man, money doesn't matter, status doesn't matter. He had a beautiful girlfriend. I think he had a young kid on the way. He had all these people around him. He had created a life for himself. It looked like he had come through the darkness into the light. And then, it's
been living with it, man.
It bummed me out a lot.
You know, like I said, I've thought about it, you know, pretty much every day since I can remember about suicide, and you know, like to go through with it, man, it's hard, man. You must be in such a state where you just feel there's no way out. And I feel sorry for people that feel like that, because you know, like you said, it's brave, man. Like, man, I've been there, and I've been in a really down place, but thankfully I've been able to pull myself out of it. And I just feel so sorry for the people that actually haven't, man, because like you said, they must have been in such a bad way, man, that they couldn't see no light. And,
for sure.
You know, like, that's one thing I've learned about mental illness is, you know, just because I'm having a bad day today, it doesn't mean tomorrow's going to be a bad one. You know, like, and sometimes, like, it's even like you just gotta get through the next hour, and then things will be better. You know, you just gotta hold on for the next hour. You know, and what do I do when I'm really stressed? Which is funny, is I sleep. So if I'm very stressed, I can sleep. Like a lot of people can't. Like, I sleep. Like, I remember I smashed my car up. I rode my car off, brand new, years ago, and I went home and slept for 4 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that then when I wake up, I'm a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
So that's my way of getting out of it all. And so, like, yeah, I just hope everyone bloody has their own way of getting out of it eventually. But
34, looking ahead, having tasted those bright lights on back to your career and the opportunities that are, I feel, going to continuously be presenting. I mean, you made the step from Hobart. You're living in Sydney, bigger market, and you know, you're following online. Are you looking? Do you visualize? Do you see yourself in that arena? Maybe MSG, or now they're fighting in Brooklyn. Maybe the O2, or is it something? Is it tough for you? Are you one of these guys who create that vision, or is it just happening on the go?
Yeah, look, like I said, I don't think too much about, you know, the next fight too much or whatever. I'm just focused on today and tomorrow. Training hard every day, and whatever opportunity presents itself, I'll take it. I would love another shot. I'd love to fight in America, in Vegas.
Sure, man. Make that, dude.
Or Madison Square
If
Garden.
you want that to happen, make it happen. You have the skills to do that.
So look, there's opportunities there. We just got to keep focusing and you know, do the right things inside and outside of the gym, which is very important. And just stay focused, man. Be ready when the opportunity presents itself, because if you stay around long enough and you keep, you know, doing the right thing in the gym, your opportunity will come.
I like that. I feel, I've never, like, I was watching boxing as a young kid. I was born in '82, the same year that Ray Boom Boom Mancini from my hometown had that epic fight in Caesars against Dooku Kim. And so boxing has always been ingrained. You know, my buddy Kelly became a world champ. People would say 5 years ago that boxing's on the way out, and you know, the UFC was coming up. You had Ronda, you had Conor. But man, right now, as a boxing fan, there's been, like, I don't even want to use the word resurgence, because I don't think it ever went anywhere. But I feel that boxing in all weight classes is maybe the best it's been in a long, long time.
Well, it's now they've got DAZN, and you know, I want some of that money, DAZN money. I want that.
Algeria. So Chris is a buddy of mine. Yeah. And you know, he retired. And then I saw he poked his head back in the game, and he fought his first fight in a few years since he fought Errol.
He fought?
Well, he fought Errol Spence his last fight, and then he retired. No, I don't think anyone saw Errol Spence coming. And then he took about a year and a half, 2 years off, and he fought in his hometown in December against a seasoned veteran. And then he just fought. He's getting ready for another fight, but he's cornering. He's a nutritionist. Yeah. Man. So one of his guys is it's gonna drive me. Danny Jacobs.
Danny Jacobs
is a savage. His story's crazy too.
Canelo, man.
Yeah, dude. And dude, people sleep on Danny. His life. Do you know his life experience?
Yeah,
they thought he was gonna die. And so Chris is in his camp doing like the nutrition side of things. So he said he's gonna fight right after the Jacobs fight. But he was talking about that, like the sponsors now with this influx of social media as well. You know, the blue tick verifies you in so many other areas with opportunities, sponsorships, deals. And I like what you said. You stick around long enough, as long as you're sharpening things. You know, as long as you're, you know, not like getting comfortable, I guess, especially from your position. Do you feel when you're such a high level, man? This is what I think about the minutia of the sport. When you're at such a high level, where are you looking for areas to improve at? I'm sure you're not. I got to change my jab, or I got to change my head movement. Is it that like basic, or is it the real? Talk about that side of the game for me.
It's just about being smarter, man. Like, you know, I'm 34 now. I started at 18, so I guess it's just about being smarter with the body. Training a little bit smarter, you know, recovering better. You know, you can't do the things you were doing outside the gym when you were 20. Now, you gotta be smarter. Yep. You gotta keep your weight down outside of fights and just be in shape. You know, because it gets harder to get back off. So I mean, you're not really gonna improve too much as a fighter now, but you're just gonna improve on your habits. Your habits in the gym, basic habits that'll win your fights. You know, you're rolling after you punch, you're jabbing, your defense. Make sure your feet are moving properly, and then obviously outside of the gym, you know, you're getting your recovery, and you're not going out drinking all the time. And you know, you got to be smarter. You got to look after your body, because you know, your age catches up with you.
I know, man. I'll be 37. I turn 37 on April 27th. You fight on April 26th.
Yeah.
Could you tell the people what to expect? What am I when I'm sitting in that crowd with your boy? We'll be sitting there. We got a little table. The energy's gonna be through the roof. It's gonna be packed. There's gonna be people screaming. You're probably right where you want to be. That's probably where you're most comfortable at. What is your game plan? What do you? Forget who you're fighting. What are you trying to achieve in that fight, other than just win?
Well, I told Billy, my coach, that I've been really motivated since Christmas. After the friend and fight, I had a bit of a low patch in life, and then come back and got myself in shape and had a good win before the year's out. Because you're only as good as your last fight, right? So
I like how you did that too. You ended the year with a W.
Yeah. So my goal is just to put in some really strong performances and just show. Because to be honest, I don't think I've ever showed what I'm actually capable of. So I'm just looking for an explosive performance, whether that be an explosive knockout or a 12-round beatdown or whatever. But I just want to be explosive. I want to be sharp. I just want to look really good at doing what I'm doing, and I'm just looking to put in a great performance. And I've been putting in the work, man. The gym, my nutrition, everything is on schedule.
Awesome, man. We'll be looking forward to it. Luke Jackson, man, I appreciate you doing this with me.
My pleasure, brother. Thank you.
Oh, man, thanks for that.